Good evening. It's a lovely Sunday, and we are back right here on Ubuntu channel with your favorite program, NSAKA. Well, instead of having it on a Thursday, we're having a special edition, and we're having it on a Sunday. Want to apologize for coming late. Please bear with us, and our program continues. And tonight we are looking at effective and efficient communication in marriage or relationships. So please do make it a point to share this broadcast, invite someone, share the link so that together we can interact, we can learn, and we can be able to build better homes, better families, and a better society. This is Ubuntu channel, and together we are better. As usual, we do have Evangelist Herbert Shaabula on set. Good evening, Evangelist.
Good evening, CJ, and good evening, Caroline, Abiam, Himba, that Roseman, and all others that are tuned in. You are welcome, and it's great, to be with you for an hour. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Evangelist. Always a pleasure. Auntie Caroline, good evening and welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, CJ. Good evening, and good evening, Evangelist. Good evening, the viewers, and everyone who has tuned in to listen to the program. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Viewers, like I said, tonight we are looking at effective and efficient communication in marriage or relationships. As we are getting started, I would like you to just be glued, invite someone. We'll be sharing the link so that you can join the studio. There's a comment section. You can send your comment through Facebook or YouTube. We would like to hear from you. Would like to know where you're watching the broadcast from. Would like to get those questions, those contributions, so that together we're able to have this conversation going. Getting started, I would like us definitely to just do a bit of an introduction of what we are looking at, the terms that we are likely to face in tonight's discussion, what it means, so that together tingakulire pamozi, tingamvesesane, and this discussion is going to be a productive one. Evangelist, over to you with the introduction.
Thank you so much, PJ. We are looking at communication, efficient communication, good communication. We are looking at the word communicate or communication. So under this word, we are talking about interaction. We are talking about exchange of words, exchange of documents in words, responses that build, responses that brings two people together, responses which unites a husband and a wife for them to be truly one. We are talking about words that build, words that are crafted in a way that the two benefit from the discussion, and also at the same time there should be a good response that comes from the other person. That's what we are looking at. Then we are looking at different forms of communication, such as letters, such as words, such as emails, and all other communication systems that are put in place. The drum, ngoma, you know how it is used, the whistle, the trumpet, the horn, all that is part of communication. But as we have made it very, very clear, we are talking about communication between husband and wife. We are talking about boyfriend and girlfriend. This is what we are talking about. So in this case, we will not bring in the drums in Goma, because this is between husband and wife. We will not bring in the whistle, because this is between husband and wife, or boyfriend and girlfriend. So we are looking at how these two people can be able to convey their feelings, their desires, their plans, their love, so that the other person can be able to receive it as given to her, as given to him, so that both people can benefit from that particular communication. That's what we'll be looking at. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Evangelist, for that introduction. Auntie Caroline, would like to have your introductory remarks as well.
Okay. Thank you so much, CJ. Today we are talking about effective and efficient communication, the same way the evangelist has spoken. It's more on it's a fundamental of a successful marriage. It's all about communication. It actually helps prevent misunderstanding. Where there's communication, it helps prevent misunderstanding. It resolves conflict, and also it fosters a deeper emotion connection between the husband and wife, between the two people in the relationship. Yes. So we talk about effective and we'll talk about the efficient. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. When we talk about the effective, we are talking about also like active listening, because communication, we can communicate, but if we are not active in listening, what are we listening to? When a person is talking, we are paying attention. Okay, active listening is paying attention. Whenever the two people are communicating, there's active listening, which is paying attention. Okay, to your partner while they are talking, eye contact. Okay, so also finding proper environment when to communicate to each other is very important. You don't just communicate. For example, someone is busy, you start talking. Someone is not even set, you start talking. What about this? What about that? So effective communication, you really need to give time to each other. Good environment, both of you relaxed to talk about a lot of issues. That is effective communication. Okay, there is also clear expression when you're communicating to your partner, to your friend. There should be clear expression. Okay, your thoughts. You need to bring out your thoughts. You need to bring out your feelings, and also the needs. Your needs. You don't just have to this like arguments. They like you're arguing to each other. You need to also bring out your emotions, your thoughts, yeah, and your feelings and the needs of each other. That is effective communication. It should be non-defensiveness. Like when someone wants to talk to you, yeah, you put that defensiveness, like um, when you put that defensiveness, like you don't want to talk about issues with your partner. That is defensiveness. I think you shouldn't put defensiveness. It's good to open out and to talk about everything that is affecting both parties. Yes, I think also respect. Respect is very important whenever you're communicating. with one another. There should be respect, there should be kindness, consideration, and respect towards one another. How you approach each other also matters, because when there's no respect, whenever you're communicating, no matter how intense the issues are, but there should be respect. When there's respect, the two people will be able to listen attentively to each other. I think for now I can talk about that. Maybe Evangelist also can expand more on that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Auntie Caroline. Evangelist, I think we can get into the meat of the discussion now. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Let me put it this way. I think Caroline has put a very wonderful foundation for discussing communication, or for communicating with us, with me. Now, you know, when we want to communicate, check or ensure that they are in place, the communicator, in what mood are you in? Your mood. What mood are you in? Are you communicating anger? Are you communicating information? Are you communicating something that has got to do education? Do you want to teach your colleague or your friend? Or you want to express disappointment? Or you want to express dissatisfaction? Or you want to bring out your anger? Or you want to bring out love? So your mood will determine whether what you are communicating is good or it's bad. If your communication, what you want to communicate, is bad, and you yourself, you are not right in the head, your communication will be distorted, will be disturbed, and in the end, it will bring a problem. You should understand also the words that you are using when you are communicating. It is very, very important for us to use a simple language, because words that we use, they are meant to make the other person understand what you are talking about, so that they are able to give you a feedback, a good feedback. So you must understand the words you are using, and they should be simple words, simple phrases, simple language. Don't use big words. Don't use phrases that the other person will not be able to understand. So then you are not communicating. You are creating a problem, and you will not be efficient in your communication. The other issue, as you communicate, you must check the time. What time is it that you are communicating, whatever you are communicating? Because certain things that you are communicating, that you want to talk to your friend on, they need to be discussed probably during the time, during the day, when both of you are strong, are awake, and are energetic, and you are able to express each other and look at each other's face and explain. Certain issues that we bring very late in the night, the feedback will be bad, because we brought them at a wrong time. So timing is very important, in short. As we communicate, the other issue is place of communication. Where are you communicating whatever it is? that dialogue, that conversation, where is it being held? Is it through the phone? Are you talking to your friend on a very important matter when she's in the supermarket buying? You want to talk to her about a call that came from a girlfriend. Do you think that you can get good feedback when your friend is in a supermarket or a barber shop, is cutting his hair? Can you get a good feedback? The answer is no. Then the other issue, you know, Carol has put it, respect for the person that you are talking to. Do you respect the person that you are talking to? Respect is not saying, no, Shaabula. No, that's not respect. But respect is knowing which word to. You need to be selective. Select the right words which will give you a good feedback. Do not use words which are going to raise or stir anger in somebody, so that that person acts negatively or negatively. So you need to choose words. That is part of respect. Respect the person. And when you talk to them, do not demean them. Muchepesa kumuonesa monga alibenzeru. Ime mungati uchani iwe nkala pansi ndelera vameni kamba ye. Nao bantu bamene bali basibo opunzira aba. Munayo kuyopa chani ku school, munayo kuyopa imbwa. You know, that kind of language can actually produce anger in the person you are talking to. So the discussion will not be fruitful. The other issue that we need to do is interest. When somebody is talking to you, it is important sometimes to nod your head. Nodding your head indicates that I agree with you, you are on course, please go ahead. It is an encouragement. So nod your head. Nodding your head, ni kuchita up and down, ni mutu kuchita so. So that is nodding your head. When you do that, you are saying, yes, 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 you're right. Go ahead. That is okay. Even when you do not even when you disagree with somebody, do not interrupt. Do not interrupt. Do not disturb. Do not just come in, cut in when your friend is talking. Actually, it is bad manners. It is bad manners for you to cut in when your friend is talking. I'll give you an example. Normally, this is done by men. When a wife complains about certain things or something else, you find that most men, they will tell their wives, "You will come, okay, see, I know what you are talking about. That is interruption. That is disrespect. You are disrespecting your wife, and it is not right for you to cut her off. So let her talk. Even when she's out of, or he's out of, when your partner is out of the topic, leave them conclude. And then from there, come in gently and pick it off from where they left it. And then continue. And indicate to them that, okay, and this, but that's what we're talking about. We are talking about vana bazamba kuenda bwanji ku school. Is it by bus or the worker will just be walking kuenda kubatenga chaba bazienda na miendo chabe kubaya kunyumba. This is what we're talking about. We are not talking about the kitchen party of your sister. No, that is not the issue. So that is how you need to handle that gently, bring that person into the line. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is that even if somebody is out of the topic, please let them talk, and then from there, help them come back. That is respect. The other issue is, you know, that those people out at akakamba chabati, you know, pamene naenda kumazabuka, then you say, no, musakambe kumazabuka. Yambani pamene tinauka, kuseni seni. Chinali bwanji pamene tinauka. Then the husband begins, pamene tinauka paja, you know, tinapempera. Pamene tinapempera, then tinange na moto kata, unakuyamba kuyenda kumazabuka. Simunakambe za breakfast. Kodi sinadi breakfast. Kambani breakfast nayo. Okay, sorry. Then from there, tinate kunaka breakfast, tadia, tadia, pameti nasa kudia, tangena, muchani, mumotoka, kamba kudrive. Kambani, nas, wiru jachi, ichite ya wiru se, spare wiru paja, munatu majoni, spare wiru, tike kuja. You didn't talk about that. I didn't hear that. Please bring it up. That is, you know, in communication, that one is called a monologue. Ujamati apitu kama wezi, afuno akambe. They are detailed. They want everything to come out. So when you are discussing, please do not do that. The other issue, when you are discussing with somebody, do not involve other people in the discussion that you have. Either your husband or your wife. Do not bring other people. Okay, in kanya meni kamba hii, tieti na bashite ba neighbor bamake mavuto. Tieti balete mamake vuto, bamake vuto. Baizi bwino nkani. Bazamu bazaka maveme kamba hii. Tieti baitane. Then from there you want to invite somebody in your issues as a husband and wife or boyfriend and girlfriend. It is not necessary. Because that person is only going to get your secrets or your privacy. That is going to be taken away from you. You do not have to do that. So that is poor communication and it will not be efficient. The other issue that you have to do when you are communicating, mind the tone of your voice. Mind the tone of your voice. The tone of your voice is koti pameno kamba voice yako isaunda bwanji. Koti isaunda utuwakalipa osindi wokalipa. Chili bwanji. So when you raise your voice, you are indicating that what has been said is not good. You don't agree with that and you are not happy. Raising your voice actually is also part of disrespecting your other friend. Ngatuona ti iwe voice yako ilipa mwamba. Then ask your friend to say, ine voice yanga ilipa mwamba. I think what I'm going to do ine nizamba kulemba chabe karata hapa. Tilinkeza hapa nizilemba. Or I'll be making my signs chabe. Munga indicator chabe.
Yeah.
Which is not raise your voice. The other issue is that when you are talking to your friend, don't chew. You are chewing something. You are eating something. What are you talking about? Because by chewing, it means that what you are discussing is not serious. It's not important. An important matter will require attention. It will require total attention. It will require your availability. You need to be available. So don't chew anything. And don't talk to any other person. You are talking to the other person. Then from there, akapita wina. Iyo yimba mwichosa hapo. Then chifua your hosepipe izachita paja. Okay. Evangelist, as I was saying, you know, per Tuesday we can meet ku ShopRite. From there we can go to Kabwata. Iwe chite ubauza mai bako ati banipase ko porridge. Manyo sinapye mairo. Sinapye mairo. Okay, Evangelist, as I was saying, no, that's not right. If you want to talk to somebody because there is an emergency, you should say, please excuse me, I have an emergency. Can I attend to that? So that the person you are communicating with knows that something is happening, and they will allow you to attend to that emergency that can't wait. And then from there, you get back to your discussion and discuss. Please do not allow something else to come in between you as you are discussing, because that will disrupt the discussion, and you will not know where you ended and what happened. The other issue is that there must be questions. Allow your friend to ask questions. Questions clarify matters. Questions clarify issues. So do not run away from questions. For example, Caroline can say, Evangelist, last time you told me A, B, C, D. So I want to find out you. Are you being honest with me? You know, that is a very straightforward question which requires a straight answer. So I need to answer the question. So do not run away from the question. Do not avoid questions. Many of us distort our discussions because of running away from questions. The other point is, when you are discussing, stay on the point, stay on the discussion. If you are talking about talk about that, do not stray. Musaende kukamba vina, please discuss with that person at that time. Now, the issue we have discussed, find out, you know, just do a summary. Summarize what we discussed, which are a summary. Okay, you know, we talked about this, we talked about this. What do you think about this? Get feedback. When you get a feedback from your friend or your husband or your wife, it means that you are confirming that what you discussed, they heard it and you accepted it, and you are on the same page with them. So get a feedback to find out whether what has been discussed has been agreed upon by two of you, and both of you are going to work towards getting a solution to that problem that you had. So when two of you agree and you move together, it means that is effective. The communication is effective. In other words, how do you check the communication is effective? You do a summary. In the summary, your friend will be able to go through and say, yes, I got you right. You said A, B, C. Yeah, you said this, you said this. Then find out, then what is your position on point A, point B, point C? What is your position? Then your friend is going to say, my position on point A is this, on point B is this, but on point C, I don't agree with you. When they don't agree with you, don't say that communication has not been efficient. No, it has been it has been efficient, except that she has not agreed with you. And you see what we need to accept, to allow our wives, to allow our husbands not to actually to disagree with us. They don't have to agree all the time what we say. No. So, Carol, you don't have to agree. If your husband talks to you, you should not agree if it is not true. If you don't agree with them, you should be able to say, okay, I understand. You see, I understand what you are saying. You have a point here, you have a point there. But this part here, I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you because ABCD, the reasons why you don't agree with your friend. Not I don't agree with you. Why don't you agree with me? No, in any moment, if you're chabe, ni feeling chabe, ni na feeling chabe, that there's something wrong. It's a feeling. No, no, no. We should not allow emotions or feelings to take over. Having said this, let me give time also to my colleague or colleagues also to respond or to add to what I've said. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Evangelist. Let me just welcome Mr. Abia Nyirenda, who has just joined us. Well, Abia, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, CJ, and thank you so much to the viewers for having us. And it's a lovely good evening to my fellow panelists here.
Thank you very much. Straight away, I'll throw you into the lion's den. Tipaseni koni mwene mwionera discussion ya lero munga ajingepo no lasapo pali vene wakamba wa Evangelist. Mr. Abia, takupasani stage ndimwe manje.
Vadada vayoya nandi vayoya vinandi ndiye kuti ine ndingaonjeza hapo naso vinandi aya kama vidoko wakane. CJ, are you going to cope with this language?
No, I hear kuhera ni hera manje kukamba.
That's
all right. A lot have been said by Evangelist, and I think I would like so much to hear to Madam Caro, because sometimes why I'm saying Madam Caro, because she's the only woman here at the panelist, and she know when how women react when they are upset. That's when effective and efficiency is needed. So I would rather hear first from her because when a woman is frustrated, that means there is someone also who is but I don't want to go to the area of provoking, but the area where a woman has been upset, and how can she communicate with the husband or the boyfriend while receiving a call or having a bad time. Yeah, I'll stop right here, CJ. Yeah, because I'd like to hear so many to her. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abia. Auntie Caroline, I hope you've heard what Mr. Nyirenda has said.
Yes, very clear, CJ.
Yes,
I
please.
like the yes. Okay, I like the point Evangelist brought out on the like involving other people when you're communicating
CJ?
with your wife. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Are you
Please
able
go ahead.
Yes. I like the point Evangelist brought out, like involving other people when you're communicating with your partner. Like you bring in the third parties. Most times when you start bringing third parties in your marriage, in your relationships, mostly you are destroying your relationship or your marriage. I think he's talked about also being focused on the topic.
Evangelist, are you there?
yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Yes. He's also talked about being focused on the topics. There's an article that I came across which said women are supernormal. Us women are supernormal. We want to, like he said, a man will explain to say, oh, when I started off from Makeni, I reached the Kafue, then I went into Mazab. He would just speak one or two words and they're done. For a woman who wants to explain, even when how the spoon entered under the table, how that is the nature of a woman, that most of the time, real men will be patient enough to listen to a woman, will be patient enough to listen to a woman, because I think that is how we women were created. We want to detailed communication. We want to explain everything from A to Z. Not like you go to B, you connect to C, you connect to D until you reach Z. So a man who's not patient enough to listen to a woman a woman will always feel unheard. I think that is how a woman is. A woman only needs a man who can listen. Even if they're talking nonsense, just listening, and they are done explaining and talking, I think they feel so happy. Yes, they feel so happy and they feel heard just listening to them. But a man will just say A, B, Z, and they explain that way. He also talked about I think we need to encourage one another. We need to give feedback. Yeah, I saw him nodding the head, showing that someone is listening. Someone is listening to what the other person is saying. It just shows respect. And it helps the other person to come out more. It helps the other person to explore more, to talk about issues that is affecting them. Most of the times we bury a lot of things, assuming to say maybe the other person, you know what they're thinking about the thing that you think. Do not put assumptions to say they know what I'm thinking about. It's best to talk about issues. It's best to talk about bring out the what is affecting you. Bring out your concerns. Bring them out. Talk about them. Most of the time, we've ignored a lot of things, assuming to say the other person understands how you feel, or maybe the other person knows what you're thinking. I think we women, most of the time, we are very sensitive in maybe sensing things that my friend is not happy, or maybe this is what my friend needs, and we'll be able maybe to communicate back. But with men, I feel that sensitivity, they need to be told. They need to be communicated to. That's how I feel. Men, mostly that sensitivity to know, to say this is what the other person needs, this is what they want, and this is how it's supposed to be done. Men, mostly, they need that communication to be talked to be communicated to. Open up with issues that is you're not happy about. Talk about things. Do not suppress a lot of things. The more you suppress a lot of things, the Bemba says, "Tumumbwetu nono, eto naula mavala." There are little things that you need to just open enough to talk about them. If you think this is affecting the relationship, this is affecting our marriage, talk about it with respect. Because when you're talking about certain issues with respect, you are allowing the other person to listen and understand, and you are actually strengthening the stronger bond between the two. Yeah. You also enhance the teamwork. You start working together, because the more you talk about things, the more you work together as a couple. You start working about it together as a couple. You increase trust. There's so much trust. You increase trust the more you communicate to each other. Trust is being you increase trust. There's also a deeper emotional intimacy, deeper emotional intimacy, because when you talk about things, you are actually building intimacy between the two of you. You get to know more each other. You start getting to know more each other. The more you talk about issues, the more you communicate with your partner, with your friend. Yes. And some of the things that also bring barriers to communication. It's also ego and pride. You can't talk. You can't tell me this. You can't tell me that. So as a result, some women will start fearing. They can't talk about issues. They won't talk about it. As a result, they'll start reacting, maybe some mood, which a man will not want to stay with a woman who's moody. And what is causing that woman to be moody? It's because there's this barrier that they can't talk about things because of the ego of the other person. You can't talk to me like this. So that brings a lot of moody from the other person. And it's like a picture, no sound. Huh? You imagine staying with a person, picture, no sound. You're just watching each other, each one passing. Yes, picture, no sound. It's very, I don't know what I can say. It's very traumatizing. In short, it's very stressing. That's what I can say. That's why we find to say
Mental
maybe
torture.
if it's a man, yeah, maybe if it's a man who wouldn't want even to come home to that, just wants to go out, or maybe to go and watch football with friends, or maybe to just be drinking out with friends, because you can't communicate, you can't talk about issues, you can't resolve conflict, like unresolved conflict. You can't talk about this. You find that unresolved conflict, immediately you want to talk about one thing, it will bring the other thing, it will bring the other thing, it will bring 10 issues in one issue, because they are yes, because you have not discussed, you have not talked about. So when you want to open one communication, it opens doors to a lot of issues that has been unresolved. Yes. So communication, talk about things, talk about a lot of things, talk about this and that. Also distractions, where once someone wants to talk about, you try, what are you saying? You can't talk about, you can't tell me this. Hey, you can't do that. That's why my sister was saying, you don't know how to talk. You bring in a lot of other people in conversations, like other people in conversation. It also brings barriers to communication as well. Yeah. So I think we'll talk about how can we improve communication, as I give chance to other people to talk about it.
Thank you very much, Auntie Caroline. Evangelist, back to you. What
Yes.
are some? Yeah. Most of the They say most of the problems, whether in relationships or marriages, can be sorted out through talking. Okay. Vintu vambi ati kusolva ma problems ni kukambisana. Now, from your years of experience, what are the major problems or challenges that you've noticed that cause couples not to have good communication, not to be able to sit down and resolve issues properly?
Okay. Ina problem imene pasati vantu vasadzikambisana mukati kamanyumba yawo. Sometimes umpeza ati kuli vakazi, especially vakazi vamwe vakonda kutukwana, atukwana mwamuna wake akamati machende yako iwe. Now, when the wife tells the husband that, then she creates a barrier. That is a problem. Then there are also men that actually insult their wives. At kodi organize iwe uli chipuva chabe uli imbwa chabe iwe. Now, when you describe your wife like that, what do you think you get out of that? So you are actually creating barriers because of language, because of insults, because of insubordination. Umuyangala muzako monga as if si muntu wine. So that can bring a problem. Now, the other issue is discussing irrelevance. irrelevance. You bring vitu amesi vitandiza na kutandiza. You know, normally the person who wamela kwenda kuleta vaso ni wakazi. Sometimes in kani maybe inapita kudala, you discussed it, you forgave each other, then akamba okay, takambi sana but ne kumutima kwanga ukalipa. Chifuye jankani mweme nanchitira ujachite ujamatha pamea nabura paja mweme munamuyanganira kaja kayanganidwe kaja nikauhule kaja, you know, telling the husband like that. Now, the husband, whatever is happening, so we need to be very careful. Then the other issue, see, relationships, mukara ma issues, ma problems, ma barriers. Niya jakuti, the husband thinks that, you know, by marrying this lady, he just did a favor. Actually, it was a favor for me to marry you. You know, so it is me who is supposed to instruct you, tell you what to do, not you. So that way you are creating a barrier between you and your lady, because she will not want to be demeaned. So she'll just be quiet. So there will not be communication. Now, the other issue it's those people that bakamba ukamba nkani paja siwafuna watu wakambire munyumba acho kapanja chabe so alipanja mu veranda akaona ma neighbors wapita paja ipamena akama paja kaje kabudura kaje kakuchile kaenda kaenda pandi kaja mwavula chabe na ukasi apa flo alipa flo chabe mukadiza tindame zakatenga futi kama kuna idoti manikuli na matuvi mkati muli wonse sho mpeze kama matuvi mchite mkapantikana. That kind of language, you know, CJ, as a counselor, I have sorted out such problems. Chauti mukazi, apusika mukazi mwamuna wake na bantu bamverera. Akamba za ku bedroom, kabudura paja, muse akabudura pansi paja. So, next time your husband not want to discuss anything with you because of the way you have handled or you brought up the issue. Another problem, another barrier to communication is the discussing a matter under duress. What do I mean by under duress? Kupatikiza, your friend is not ready. Utakambisani, no, we can't sleep. Now, this is we men. If I'm going to we are not going to sleep until we find an answer to this one. Tunga gone uka iwe uka. You. So, my issue after historical issues and my issues later. Niaja my issues out ati munakamba kudala anasira kudala sali kwa, but because you are just no, that's it should be. So that is also bad. Azama kuona chabati aisha mkazi, she will not know kota agone or begezere nkani ikambisiwe, but ukalikucha utamba bola as a husband between Chelsea and Arsenal. After my 23 hours, the wife will just sit there for you to discuss the matter with you. So a woman in the home should not be your maid. Let's not treat our wives as maids, and let's not treat our husbands as our servants. So treat each other with love. Treat each other with love and with respect. Address them nicely. You know that those men are called sensa zina ya bana. Vamake mavuto. You know, make mavuto, whatever it is. If you are comfortable, it is comfortable with that kind of address, please address her that way. If you are one of those women who are very romantic, you can say, but honey, you know, honey, you know, my love, you know, my love, you know, my chocolate, you know, my chocolate, inkondeandi, wenkondeandi, my oxygen, 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 superhero, superhero, my cake, my cake, my chikanda, my chikanda, my chibwabwa, chibwabwa. You see, the whole thing is that, you know, let's treat each other well. Your address will actually show that you are friendly or you are not friendly. So these barriers to communication should be observed. Let me allow my colleagues also to respond. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Evangelist. I can see we have Auntie Ruth trying to join in. Please, Auntie Ruth, your device hasn't properly been configured. Please log out, try to join in, make sure your video and audio you enable them so that we're able to add you to the studio. Auntie Caroline, I have a question for you. I don't know if it's a question or it's a questions. Evangelist highlighted a number of issues that women are problematic for. Okay, that usually bring about this challenge in communication in a home. I would like to get a woman's perspective, okay, of some of the things that women feel men wama visokoneza, and as a result communication is a problem, where women see what is to understand. So from a woman's perspective, what are some of these wrong things that create problems in communication in a marriage or in a relationship?
Okay. As I said, like most of the time, it's an unwillingness to listen from a man, unwillingness to listen. When you don't, there are just men who just even turn the other side and say, "Kamba nimvera ni matu yamvera, just talk." Okay.
Meanwhile, he's
Just
facing
talk.
the other direction.
He is facing the other direction and say, "Talk in matu yamvera."
But not
Yeah.
me.
So
Not me, not me.
no, you are a very good listener.
He don't want to be part of the conversation.
Yeah, talk. Unwillingness to listen. As I said, most women, they just want someone to listen. They just want someone to be listened to. Even if sometimes, just talking, and a woman will feel better and will do everything, will be in a good mood, will start smiling, will be just that good mood because she's been listened to. So a woman just needs someone's attention, attentiveness to listen. Whenever they want to, it's when a woman is moving with a lot of things in their heart, their mood changes. Okay, their mood changes. Like even being a good wife, or even being a good a person to the husband, it affects everything. It's like a woman, when the woman is listened, when a woman is communicated to, you prepare a good mood for that person. Women are so emotional than men. Women are so emotional than men. They're emotional beings. Like even when they just want, whenever they feel there's something that is bothering them, we want to talk about it. That's why you see a woman, even They meet someone, they'll start expressing themselves, like how they are feeling. They'll talk about their feelings, they'll talk about their emotions, and immediately they do that, they feel better, as long as they've been listened to. That's why when it comes to even like mental health, with a man and a woman, women are more likely to have a better response to emotions because they love talking about it. They communicate. Unlike men, men would hold back a lot of things. And that's when a woman is not listened to, I think it brings a lot of emotional effects to a woman. Even if you don't say a word, just listen. Just listen to them. As long as they're able to express themselves, to talk about things, just listen. And believe me, when you just listen and nodding your head the way Evangelist was nodding his head, saying, I'm listening to you. You are important. Whatever you're talking about, I'm interested to hear, to listen. Believe me, you'll see someone even singing a song, dancing around the house, just you listened to them because they've expressed themselves. They've opened up to talk about issues. Than them suppressing a lot of issues, it brings a lot of problems. It brings a lot of anger. Okay? Even the responses, it brings a lot of anger, the way they'll respond, the way they'll be talking to you. It will be just something. So it really helps a woman to have someone who's willing to listen. Yeah. Hello?
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you, Auntie Caroline. I want to bring
Yes.
in Mr.
And
Abia, who has been quiet. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, CJ. I don't know
Am I
if you can
audible?
hear me.
I can hear you, Mr. Abia.
All right, thank you so much.
So, Mr. Abia,
Yes,
please, yes.
come again.
Go ahead. I want your contribution. Apa tienda kuma dying minutes, but I want your contribution.
Uh, All right, thank you so much. Um, CJ, sometimes us men, timazimvera, kuta, because we are head of the family, then we have to be ahead over everything without counting off our wives that they are part and parcel in the family. You know, we only value these women that we have as our wives today when we were in a relationship. You see, we are using those soft ways, babe, darling, huh? My dearest. You see that, huh? But now, when they come in our home, 2 3 years, we see them as if it's a shitenge material. We have bought it in a shop. Now we have started wearing it. After 2 or 3 years, that chitenge material is now fading up. We'll start looking for another one. That kind of behavior, we say, is indecent behavior because see, you are not respecting your spouse. You are not valuing your spouse. So you are not valuing also your marriage or your relationship. So that's bad of us men. Now, when that when that behavior start growing up in a man, lack of tolerance now comes in. Everything that a woman or our wife will say, it will be useless for us. This is why Anticaro says, "Kamba nivera." You see, we like we are taking ourselves off from the discussion. Now, why did we brought this woman into our house, into our home? Why did we marry her? So now we need to be tolerant. We have to know that now uh, my wife wants to talk to me. Let me pay attention to her. Okay. Another thing is noticing the mood. You know, noticing the mood. As men, we need to notice the mood of our wives. That right now, my wife is in the mood of talk. Let me stop what I am doing and listen to her talk. Right now, my wife want to express her happiness. Maybe this happiness is coming from where she's coming from, whether it's at work or business thing. There's something that has happened, and now she's happy, and she want to express that happiness to us, to me as a husband. So we have to tolerate that. Let her express her feeling to us. Now, we shouldn't make um, our wives as they are in a prison instead of feeling themselves that they're in a marriage. Now, the same thing has to happen to wives. They need to be tolerant also. They need also to notice our moods. That right now, even if I have this to say, but my husband will not pay attention because maybe he is tired or he has been puzzled. You see that, CJ? As men, when we are puzzled, CJ, like myself, when I'm puzzled, it's like a metal which is boiling, and now that metal has been turned into red. Now you want to pour a water on it. You see that? That will give an impact, a reaction that will come from there will not be good. So the wife should also notice that, because the Bible says, as husbands, we should know our women. Now, I should add to say, so of our wives should know us better than any other woman in our community. You see? So if you are respecting each other in a marriage, in a relationship, that marriage will prosper. That's why Evangelist said, lucky of uh, selecting words, right? So it comes from respect. How you respect your husband, how you respect your wife. That's how will help. That's what will help you to select of words. That we can have a misunderstanding today because we are humans, but tomorrow we'll be happy because we are together in this marriage. We are one. So okay, let me tolerate this for today. Tomorrow we'll discuss and then we'll be at peace. Now, the style that has come in now, CJ, is rushing to social media, writing about our spouse. Huh? This has happened to me. What should I do? And there are PhDs in these social medias. You know why what PhDs are talking about? Pull her down, pull him down. You see, and there are also those people who don't care about him, don't care about her. You see that? So they will give you an implication of uh, a negative view of your spouse, because some people we ask advice from, they are not in a relationship, they are not in a marriage, and they don't know what marriage means, and they don't know what relationship means. So we end up asking wrong people about advice. So what they're going to advise us is poison. So we are going to poison our marriage ourselves. I think I'll maintain here so that I can give room to others. But let's respect each other so that our marriage will prosper. Let's not make our marriage to fade up like a shitenge material. Thank you, CJ.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abia. We've gone 4 minutes beyond the hour. I would like us to get into conclusions, but as we are concluding, I would like to get an answer. How do you handle a situation where you have been saying something to your partner, but samvera several times ubwezapo chintu chimozi samvera, eh? What do you do in that situation? Let me start with Auntie Caroline, and then I'll go to Evangelist. Then we can wrap up. Auntie Caroline.
Okay, I would say seek conflict resolution training, problem solving management.
Uh,
When so you are talking about certain things that your friend Samvela kungo kamba chabeba same things pachintu chimozi na chimozi chamene Samvela, and what is that thing that someone is not listening? Nichichani chamene Samvela when you talk about it.
nimamuuza lyonse huyu.
Nichani chamene umamuoza. What do you talk about? What is it that you talk about, Chamine Savage?
How big it is?
Eh?
azichosa dota azitaya kuja kuchishara but hivi haika pakunapa yukabwera mpepo visha vibu munyumba tao zonse haikona paja sata kuchishara sana uyu ni muuzambera.
Okay. Yeah, you know, some certain issues, try to talk to your partner to say how they would want to be communicated to. Or maybe talk to them about maybe like positive language, not like telling them what to do, or maybe try to ask them what they would love, how they would love things to be. Or maybe in that way, maybe you try to ask how would they want things to be in their own way. How would they want, like, maybe to things to be, or maybe how would they want to respond to that situation? Maybe you might be telling them the things that are impossible for them to do. I don't know how I can put it. Maybe you're telling them to say the things maybe that are impossible. Because how do you improve in communication? Most of the time, reschedule time, that ask time. Ask. Not like you just want to tell someone this, discuss. There should be a discussion between the two of you. Find out why are they behaving that, why are they not doing things, the things you want them to do. You should have the ask time, the discussion, the ask discussion. Not why so chita so chita so chita so chita so. Why so chita so? So we talked about respect. So I think reschedule the ask time. We're talking about us, you and me. Let's talk about this. This is how I want things to be done. Okay? I'll be very glad if things can be done in this way. So sometimes it's positive language. I would be very happy if things can be done in this way. You are actually helping them to do it in a way that they will make you happy. Than maybe just pointing to say, why are you not doing this? Nikakuza sumamvera. Why sumvera nikakuza chita so? So reschedule the ask time, discuss the ask time. We talk about things. Okay? I would be the happiest husband if you can do this. This is how I want things to be done. So I think they will respond also in a positive way. It's because we are using a positive language towards this certain situation. Okay. I think also the love language. Let's use the love language as we communicate. Not nimachiuza ichi chimachita munga ni chichani monga ni chimvera kanga tindi chani. You see? So let's use the love language so that the other person, even if you're talking, they'll be able to respond in a very loving way. And I think I end here.
Just to add on a little bit, CJ, just to add on a little bit.
Yes, Mr.
Sometimes
Lydia.
Yeah, sometimes things that we see as a problem, maybe it's not a problem to our spouse. You see? Yes. Another thing is you're asking your friend or your wife or your spouse to do it, but while you yourself who give direction to others, you're not doing it yourself. So you're not a good example. So now this person is asking himself or herself to say, "Ah, my husband is asking me to do this, but he's not doing it himself. Why, why do he want me to do it?" And then your wife, you're asking your husband to do something, but you yourself as a wife, you're not doing it. So you're not giving a good example for that thing. So you have to be the first one to do that thing, then teach your friends. Sometimes again, you see, you make use of sitting down. Okay, we have discussed about this. Do this, or not doing it. Okay, what should we do for us to end this? Maybe your spouse will express her mind to say, "Ah, okay, my darling, this thing, you see a problem in this one, but I don't see it a problem anymore. You see? Okay, let's invite someone to help us so that we can go into the same line." So you have to think of those areas. Now, about inviting someone, invite that someone that is going to respect your secret, because this is a secret, it's coming from the bed. Not someone is coming to help you, then when he goes out or she goes out, then she start publishing
Publicize it.
your misunderstanding. That means now you're not settling matters, you are now adding up. So it's better to be wise than to be uh anzanga, ni very zanga nzanga. It's better to be wise than selfless. Uh, there was
Yes,
an important word I was looking for. Okay, thank you.
all right. So, Evangelist, that question, you can even summarize it. Muzako umuza samvera iwe ukalipe kuyamba vilimba hivi. Let me know. Eva ngoyamba chapa join na uko na uko. Huh? Over to you.
Here,
Yeah.
we need to be very careful that we don't blame ourselves. First of all, a double-edged knife, it juba okunawo. This problem could be both the fault of the husband and also the fault of the lady. First of all, you are meant to pass some instructions. Check yourself. In what mood are you giving those instructions? What do you want to achieve by giving those instructions? How does it affect the family if it is not done? Such questions. Then the other question is that when you give those instructions, how does the other person receive your instructions? Sometimes the other person will receive those instructions because they don't want to do it, because it is hard work. Sometimes it is an embarrassment for them to do it. When people see them do it, or the children see them do it, it's an embarrassment. Sometimes what you are asking them to do is supposed to be done by yourself and not herself. So she will actually challenge you by not just doing what you are saying. Sometimes pamene nachoka kwao kuli batati bake na mai bake siwa naye kumupunzisa na mpunzisa. So dotija is part of their language, is part of their life. Doti
Yeah, normal.
Normal madingi. So my diapers are heavy. For 3 days I am under the bed. The 4th day I am under the table. Then the 5th day I am udosa. Then the 6th day I chosa veranda. The 7th day in permanent quartile. You know, you know.
Yeah.
That is why you need to know the person who may from Kwatira, background Yamukas. These are some of the problems that we are likely to face if we marry strangers. So the other issue is that, you know, when she does not accept what you are saying, it's sometimes because it doesn't make sense. Because it's not always that what the man says is always right. Sometimes when I'm ni vipuva, now wakamva upuva. So, and it's very, very bad. It's very, you know, annoying if a man becomes a fool. If you read the Bible, Proverbs chapter 27, verse 22, ati chipuva romachika muchite mumpoto muja, kuchitwa na chite na mota so, upuva susira. And it is very, 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 very bad for a man. A man in Chipuva, the lady will be so much in troubles. So if I want to change it, you need to be double sharp. You must be 200% while your wife is at 100%, be at 200%. Because you know, Mamuna said Chipuva. So check yourself. So our program, I'm saying, Amuna, check yourself before you check your mkazi wako. Communication is as important as blood is to our body. Communication is as important as oxygen is to your nose. Communication and effective communication is as important as water to your throat. Now, because of the importance of communication, we should improve it, work towards improving it, so that you improve your talking style, your approach, the ways that you use must be improved, the system you are using in delivering your words must be improved. Then you must be audible. Mawa zicho kabwino bwino. Not to come at mama, I don't want you know, no tete wana kuniziba. Pamena mfano sina kudia chabe, bakapiga chabe bakuri kudia ile. No. Those days, but manje wakula, iwe chipuva iwe. Wakula manje, change. So we need to change. So a gentleman, because you must know that as a husband, you are an example to your children. You are an example to your wife. Treat your wife nicely. Speak to your wife with respect and say things the right way. Nod when she's talking. Do not interrupt or disrupt when she's talking. Allow her to finish. Allow her to finish her point, even if what she's saying is vaupuva. Let upuva wake uchoke so that kuzive puchochita, how to help her. So if you suppress the upuva wake, uzanka mumutu wake for a long time. So allow that upuva uchoka. Again, I go back. Men, please understand that you are not the Alpha and the Omega. Being a man does not make you the wisest. In fact, a wise man will consult his wife. A wise man will listen to his wife. An intelligent man will work with the wife, will discuss with the wife, will plan with the wife. You know, the wife to Herod was one of the men, Vavipuva. Mrs. Herod told the husband to say, have nothing to do with this man of God, this innocent man. But the man did not listen. Anashita upuva wake. As a result, he betrayed he betrayed the innocent blood and he caused him to die. So men should listen when their wives talk. When you listen to your wife because you want her to express her feelings, then you are on the road to mending your relationship, to improving your marriage, and cause your marriage to be healthy. When your relationship is healthy, because you communicate well with your wife, even intimacy, she'll want to give in. She'll be there for you. Even vala na kuchisa konse na kupika bwino bwino, she'll cook, and while she's cooking, she'll be singing some song. Maybe azamba kama na zina yako, oh tonga boo, just because you allow her to speak to you and talk to you. You know, then the other point is allow her to ask you questions, and answer the questions. Do not run away from questions. Answer the questions as they are asked. Then from there, get feedback. Find out, has she understood, or has he, my husband, has he understood what I was talking about, or what I was trying to explain to him. So a checklist, should be put in place so that you know whether this has been heard. And then from there, if it is efficient and effective, if your communication was effective, your husband or your wife will say, yes, I've understood you. What you said is ABCD. Yes, I've understood. We will have to go on to leave on Monday and leave at 5 hours. So I'll wake up at 3 hours to prepare. When this is given to you, it means communication has taken place. 2, it has been effective because you have feedback. So in other words, CJ, in our discussion, there must be feedback. Feedback. Thank you so much. I end here.
Thank you very much, Evangelist. We have a late entry from Auntie Ruth. Auntie Ruth, welcome to the program. Please, you can give us your contribution, even as we are in the dying minutes. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Greetings to Ubuntu family and the listeners out there. So sorry for my late entry. I had some challenges on my end, but I love the program. I followed the contributions from Evangelist, Sister Caroline, Abby, wonderful contributions. And what I can add on, another barrier is copying from others, where you feel like, oh, and stuff like that. Then you want to implement what others are doing and not to concentrate on your own style as a couple. I think that's my contribution. Since I came late, I wouldn't want to go on, but that's what I would love to add from what others have already said. Thank you so much.
A great contribution indeed, Madam Ruthie.
Thank you very much. We missed you. It's been a long time, and it's great to have you.
Sure, that's true. I'm back and I'm on. We are together.
Wow.
You are welcome.
Great.
Thank you.
Sure.
Viewers, we've had a 1 hour 23 minutes looking at effective and efficient communication in a marriage or relationship. My guests tonight, the panel, we've had Sister Caroline, Evangelist Shaabula, we've had Mr. Abia, and also Auntie Ruth, who have shared different views and important aspects of the topic of discussion. Well, if you need assistance in any issue concerning your marriage, your home, feel free to get in touch with Evangelist. His number is 0977 527 407. I'll repeat it, 0977 527 407. Please do get in touch so that you can get assistance in terms of having that issue sorted out. If you have a situation that you'd like to share on our platform, please, you can send a WhatsApp to the number that is on the screen, and we'll be able to give that situation, so that the panelists, our counselors, are able to analyze it, and through that situation, other people can be helped. You might think you're the only one going through that, but different people are able to be helped by a situation. The number that you can send it to is 0972 959 608, 0972 959 608. You can send those situations to that number, or you could even inbox us through our social media platforms, and we'll be able to handle that situation adequately. Well, from me and all our guests and everyone who's been part of the broadcast tonight, want to say thank you. Be glued to Ubuntu channel. Make a date with us next week for another exciting episode of NSAKA. We sign out and say good night and God bless.